So Bill Gates Sr. literally changed my life. And it turns out that Starbucks and Pete's got into financial trouble. And Jerry came to me and said, I decided that I'm going to sell Starbucks. So that was great news to me, but I had no money. Price was $3.8 million in 1987. So I went to my existing investors to try and raise the $3.8 million. And Jerry said, if you can raise the money in 60, 90 days, it's yours. But at the same time, just to cover myself, I'm going to start talking to other people in case you can't raise the money. Well, maybe a week or two later, he calls me up and says, can you come see me? And I go to see Jerry, and he says, I got some bad news. I've got an all-cash offer, all cash, with no due diligence to buy the company. And Howard, I just got to take it. And I said, from who? And he said, one of your investors. Well, maybe a week or two later, he calls me up, and I tell you, I was just heartbroken. I couldn't believe it. The guy who was intending to do this was a titan in Seattle at the time. He's here, and I'm down here. I would have no access to him. I was in a basketball league at the time, and I'm telling my friend Scott Greenberg the story. He's a lawyer, a young lawyer at Bill Gates Sr.'s law firm. And he says to me, this is a terrible thing. You got to come in the office and tell Bill Gates the story. You have to. And I went in there with Scott, Bill Gates Sr., who at the time was like 6'7", 6'8". He was a titan of Seattle. He was just the man. Now, Bill Gates, Microsoft at the time, was a small startup company. No one knew Bill Gates, but everyone knew Bill Gates Sr. I walk in the office, I tell him the whole story, and he says, I'm just going to ask you two straight up questions. I was so nervous. I was so anxious.
I was going to say, the nerves had to be through the roof.
Awful. Yeah, I was sweating. I said,
my hands are sweating just listening to this.
He says, is everything you told me true? I said, Mr. Gates, 100% the truth. Have you left anything out? I said, no. And he says, we're going to take a walk. I don't know where we're going. We take a walk across the street, literally. We go up to the top floor, and then I realize we're walking into the other man's office, whose name should be not mentioned. We walk in. Bill Gates is 6'7", 6'8". This guy is behind his desk, and Bill Gates stands over him, just like this, walks in and said, I'm going to walk out of this office, and you are going to stand down, and Howard Schultz and Starbucks Coffee are going to never hear from you again. Are we clear? I'm just like, holy. And the guy kind of wilts and says, I understand. And we walk out. And I just said to Mr. Gates, what just happened? And he said, you're going to own Starbucks Coffee Company, and my son and I are going to help you. And they did.